Hello, my name is Richity, and welcome back to episode 13 of the Create Academy server. So, in between episodes, I've tried to stay down here, stay on the server a bit to get this thing to fill out, and it's taking a really long time, just as I had expected. And I even set up a small mechanism in the nether that will actually supply me with more lava, so I don't need to rely entirely on this. So I'll just show that to you really quick. I mean, like, it's really quick and dirty. I have like 3 or 4 water wheels right there, just to make sure that this thing can be at max speed. I just throw a stack of buckets on here, and it'll just fill them all up with lava. And then once I have all 16 buckets, I just deposit them into this item drain right here. And they'll just get drained and stored in this fluid container, since the lava can be taken out of here faster than it can be deposited into the hole. So I just like some backlog, that way I can deposit them quickly. But compared to how many lava buckets I need down there, 16 is really not much. So yeah, this is going to take a long time. Anyway, I believe I said it last episode, but I think I want to start trying to make the farms that are going to make all the materials in here. So I guess I should probably start out with deciding what exactly I want to be made in here. So, out of the things that can be made with andesite alloy, probably the things I want to be automated are the things that are used for like everything, like shafts, cogwheels, andesite casing, and probably gearboxes as well, because gearboxes are really annoying to craft. So yeah, I should only be making like 4 things, but there is actually a way to make cogwheels without a crafting table. You can actually just deploy a plank onto a log. I think that the recipe used to be cheaper than crafting it in a crafting table, but I guess it's not anymore. And then I believe, yeah, the cogwheels can be made in exactly the same way. So probably what I'm going to want to do, well first I probably just want to knock out this whole wall. Like, this farm should actually be really simple. I'm probably going to need to divert some of the logs from there into here for making the andesite casing. But I'm also oh, actually, I've just remembered. I'm gonna need to deal with the threshold switch. What this does is it can read the contents of a chest and give off a redstone signal depending on what the content is. Like on how full it is. Kind of like a comparator, but a bit more easy to use, I guess. And the reason I'm gonna want that is because I'm going to want to like stop. Like, for example, if the shaft chest fills up, I'm going to want to stop crafting shafts. And likewise with the cog chest, the large cog chest, and everything else. I'm going to want to stop crafting the shafts I'm going to want to stop crafting them if the chest is full, because then it's just going to go nowhere and it's going to clog up the whole machine. But I first need to... I need to move this output, first things first. I guess it's time to start looking at how exactly we're going to craft things. First of all, I'm going to want to turn the andesite alloy into shafts, which you can do by just sawing an andesite alloy, which does actually give you a return, like, it gives you more. And I think I'm also going to move the storage all to be on this side, because that just gives me a little bit more space to make the farms. So I think probably what I want, usually I would want a brass tunnel when I'm splitting things off, but most of these things require the direct andesite, so I'm gonna want to actually split it off a bit unevenly, because I guess first things first, it's going to want to split some andesite alloy off. I might even just have it so that it will split andesite. It'll split one andesite alloy in both directions. One towards the chest that stores the andesite alloy, one towards the andesite casing, and then everything else will just go to make shafts. So now, with andesite alloy on there should be, yep, there's one andesite alloy that went off to be stored in some sort of chest that'll be like, I don't know, right here. The rest of it will go this way to be processed into the andesite casings. Anyway, now to think of how I'm actually going to do this. And making the cogs and large cogs is actually going to be extremely simple. In fact, I probably even just want it to be like, if I just have the line going right here, then it should be really easy, because if I just put some deployers up top, then that's just with some, if they have wood in it, then it's just going to like automatically turn it into the cogs and large cogwheels, because all it needs is a shaft with one wood placed on top of it. So let's set up the shaft processing, which, as with many other parts of this farm, is actually really simple. So ideally, that mechanical saw over there will just, yeah, automatically turn it right into... That's not a shaft. Okay, so apparently there are many other things you can craft by just still cutting andesite alloy. Okay, so in a situation like this, you want to set this recipe filter. Now, this just goes along, turns into 6 shafts, which, since it's 1 andesite alloy to 6 shafts, it's actually a better return on investment. And I don't know if you were able to see, but the shafts were going towards this belt rather than towards that one, so I just quickly switched that up. What I have set up here is that once the shafts are turned, or once the andesite is turned into a shaft, it will go on this conveyor. This will take 3 of them, and then it'll go to this one, which should, in theory, turn all the shafts going through into cogs, which actually, this might only work that's there. And then once it has turned into a cog, one of them will go on this conveyor belt to be turned into a gearbox, and the other one will go on this conveyor belt, or will go right here to turn into a large cog. So I'm just gonna set this up really quick and hope that it works. And also hope that I can get by with testing with a hand crank for a little bit longer. Yep, okay, I need to supply this with actual power now. Now it goes through. That was way too fast to actually see, but it goes through. Like, did this just take all of them? It did. That could be a problem. Yeah, that's a problem. I'm gonna need to figure out a way to make this only take, like, 3 of them. We're gonna need a couple more, like, tunnels and funnels. So, now, if I throw a couple of pieces of andesite alloy on... Okay, some of it turned into a shaft, but some of it actually turned into andesite catwalk railing. And yeah, so it's being evenly split, so I don't know how many it made there, but there are 2. Well, I guess it should have made 6. There should be 2 large cogwheels. Yep, now it's perfectly split, because I've got 2 more things to fit on this, like, area. I need to craft the andesite casing and the gearboxes. Gearboxes I'll probably put right here, and then andesite casing, I guess I'll probably go like... Actually, it's going to be super out of the way, but I'm going to put andesite casing right here next to the andesite. So all the chests are going to be protruding into the store by 1 block, but that just makes it easy to access the threshold switches that I'm going to add. Probably if this is full and this is full, then it'll shut off the farm. For the next part of this farm, I think I'm going to start with the andesite alloy, which means I'm going to need to get the wood from the wood farm into here. So here I'm just going to want to craft a smart chute that will just take all of the oak logs out of this chest. So we'll turn them into stripped logs over here, and then I'll kind of split it off, and one side will turn into planks to go up here, and the other side will turn into the andesite casings. Right, so I've got the belt system all set up for the wood part of the farm. Basically just takes all of the logs from right there. Eventually it'll get to a brass tunnel. Actually, I need to craft one more. So eventually it gets here to the brass funnels, which will just split the stacks, which should hopefully be enough. Or I mean, it'll, I guess, split them evenly between the 2 conveyors, which is exactly what I want. And then half of it will just turn into oak planks and go along. The other half is going to stay as a stripped log, go along here. I actually want to replace this with a with some chutes. That way, if this gets like clogged up, then hopefully the chutes should keep it from like piling items up. But anyway, it keeps going along here. It goes over there and should get activated by the deployer. I just need to supply this thing with some power. Alright, so now it should actually just be functional. So it gets turned into logs, and then the logs get split up. So yeah, now the deployers are getting all of the logs and they're filling up. And then the stripped logs are going along this way. I just need to finish up getting this functional. Okay, so now the main part of the farm is like actually pretty much complete. All I need to do now... Oh, that's a problem. So yes, the issue here is that I have a belt right where I need to extract items out of the chest. If I want to do this, I actually need to completely move this farm. Okay, now it should be functional again. And now, if I just extend this by one block, okay, now everything should in theory be functional. All I should need to do now is have it so that this will extract 3 at a time. So what having it extract 3 at a time does is that it will allow for every single like stack of it, 3 can go in each direction. Although it seems if this is full, then 3 will not go in each direction, or 1 will not go in each direction. Okay, wait. Now, oh, everything is going really slow now. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. So yeah, now everything except gearboxes are automated. I've already got, like, it's actually pretty good, like, it's working pretty quickly as well. So I guess next step is to get the gearboxes in place. It shouldn't be too difficult. The one problem is obviously going to be getting the andesite casings all the way back over here to make the gearboxes. And ideally, once one of these chests fills up, then it'll just stop production of that material because the belt will clog up and it won't send anything to that belt anymore. The last thing that needs to be done for this is to make the gearboxes. So usually I don't think this would be too hard, but kind of working with quite a constrained space. But I think I have an idea. The shape of it is going to look something like that. So in theory, if I just brought the andesite casings over here, then I can use a mechanical arm to place the materials into here. And then ideally, so this should input the output directly to wherever it's like pointing. Once the arm like finishes, then, or once everything's placed, then it should all go onto this belt and go over there. So first I need that mechanical arm, and then I'm going to need more brass funnels. What I want to do with these is if I just place them on the back right here, and I want to make sure they're facing inwards, then I just place a filter on each of them, and then ideally when the mechanical arm, so it'll want to take from right here, and then it'll just deposit to each of these. Oh wait, actually it's going to need to take from 2 locations. So now I can set it to take from those 2, and deposit in all of those ones. So ideally, now if I place it right here, then it should just place in all of these once it picks up the items. But I'm going to grab some andesite casings first to test it out. I'm going to see if this thing is actually working. So, yep, looks like it is. So if I look over here, yep, there are already a few gearboxes inside the chest. So now all that's left to do is just route some of the andesite casings right over to the gearboxes. So the way I was thinking I would do this is that I think I can fit, this is going to be super tight, I can fit a tunnel right here and a belt right here. But I'm going to need to move some things around first. Alright, and now if I just get these things power, it should be fully functional. I have just realized I think this is going to need to be a brass funnel. Just because I think the andesite casings are only going to come in stacks of like 1. So with this, I can just set it to split, and it'll split it up. Alright, but now everything is working, so the factory is now complete. At least it should be. Just realized I'm probably going to want to have a way to stop this mechanical arm in case this chest fills up, because this is one of the things that won't stop if it's full. But, I mean, like, already almost half a stack of gearboxes is really good. Now if I go find my toolbox, I should be able to fill it up. Because I think it was running low on some of the materials inside of it. So yeah, like, there aren't many cog wheels, there are no gearboxes. I'm pretty much out of andesite casings. So if I just grab these, I can just fill it up. And this way, I'll never need to worry about running out of these materials ever again, which is going to be really nice. Got these 2 threshold switches. And what I'm going to want to do with those is I'm going to want to place them next to both of the chests that I want to check. Basically what you can do with these is that with the upper lane, once it reaches a certain like level of being full, then it'll turn it on, and then once it like goes down to a certain level, it'll turn back off. So I just want to set it so that when it gets close to being full, it's going to give a redstone signal, and same for this one. And then what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to put a redstone link on the side. So I can come over here, and I'm going to want to replace this right here with a clutch, so that when that gets a redstone signal from the gearbox one, then it's going to turn this on and cause this mechanical arm to stop moving. Then the other clutch I have, I want to place down here. And I think pretty much in order to stop this farm from running, all I need to do actually is stop the gravel supply. Because with no gravel, I can't craft any andesite. And with no andesite, the farm can't make alloy. So in the end, I decided just to slow this down like a lot. That way, it should never fill up too much with cobblestone. And then I just decided to put it on this side because that makes it much easier, and then I can easily add the AND gate over here. Basically, if you've never seen how an AND gate works, you just have some sort of thing that can emit the power, and then the 2 redstone torches, so that when one turns off, the redstone line stays on, but when both turn off, then the redstone line turns off. And then I just invert the signal with a redstone torch. So ideally now, once those fill up, it should stop the supply of cobblestone, which will stop the supply of andesite, which will stop the supply of andesite alloy, which will, in theory, stop everything up here. So now I think I'm just gonna tidy everything up, and then it should be finished. Right, and there it is. I just made this simple counter design. I think I originally was just gonna do the stairs underneath the chests, but then I had a few extra blocks and just placed them there. I kind of think I like the texture it adds to it. But yeah, so I've got all the basic materials in Create. I mean, except for like brass, but all the basic materials. Fully automated. So I think that's where I'm gonna leave this one for now. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I guess I'll catch you next time. Bye!